Welcome. I am so excited to share another chill and therapeutic spa yoga practice with you. This class will be not only for your lower back, but also for your breath, for your whole system. You can actually begin by coming to lie down on your back with your legs bent, your feet flat on the mat, feet a little wider, knees knocking in. Maybe place your palms on your low abdomen. And just allow yourself to totally relax and arrive here. And maybe even invite yourself to remember that you're in the right place. You're right on track. You're in the right place. Let's take a big inhale. Exhale out your mouth. And again, inhale into the belly, feel it balloon open. Big cleansing exhale. That's it, another big inhale, relaxing the belly. Clear it out your mouth, letting go of the day, letting go of what feels stuck. And again. And stretch both legs straight down on the floor. Reach your arms back behind you with laced fingers. Point your toes. Really stretch back. Engage all the muscles in your body. And flex your feet. And point and flex your feet a few more times. Get longer. Make it feel like a nice big morning stretch. And draw your right knee into your chest. And take your laced hands around your right shin. The back of your left leg actively rooted down. As you exhale, hug your right thigh in a little closer. Just checking in slowly and gently with your lower back here. Take your right knee to the left an inch or two, more to the center of the chest, hug in. And then go a little wider with your right knee up towards your right armpit for a breath. And return your right knee to the center with your feet flexed. Space around your neck. Stretch your right leg straight up now with your hands laced behind your right hamstrings. Really push your top leg into your hands. Keep your top leg as straight as you can. Hug your inner thighs towards one another. Deep breaths. Noticing what's held in the hamstrings and give it all breath. You're in the right place. You're here, breathing here. And then can you actually kick your heel up a little more towards the ceiling? Toes pull back towards your face. Helps access calves. And then point your tippy toes up to the sky to stretch the top of your ankle to access your shin muscles, and do that again. Flip it the heel up and then point the toes up. Notice what kind of breath is required when you adjust the stretch a little bit. Gently stretch your leg down on the floor beside your left leg. Take your laced hands behind you on the floor. And extend your body really long. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Give yourself the fullest breaths you can. Hug your left knee into your chest, taking your laced hands around your left shin. Just going to the other side now. Keep the four corners of your back torso down on the ground so your chest is broad. Full inhales, full exhales. Guide your left knee towards the right an inch or two, a little more towards the midline. Breathe and notice how that affects maybe the glute stretch. And then go wider with left knee towards left armpit. Notice your inner thighs. Return your knee to the original position. Breathe into your belly and your chest. Stretch your leg directly up with your hands clasped behind your left hamstrings. Gather your inner thighs towards one another. Keep your feet active. Reach the ball of your left foot up. Really work your leg into your hands while your hands pull your leg towards you. Keep pressing your leg back into the hands. You're in the right place. You're right on track. Kick your heel up. Keep your top leg super straight. Point your tippy toes up, 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 up. Focus on your breath. And switch the heel up for a breath and tippy toes up for a breath. Keep your facial expression neutral if you can. And then last time, lengthen your legs down on the floor. Lengthen your arms back behind you with laced hands. Big stretch out. You can wiggle your arms back a bit if that helps you stretch more. With your feet flat on the mat now, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. For thread the needle. To go a little further, then pick up your left foot and take your laced hands behind your left hamstrings. I'll invite you to rock ever so slightly on your lower back from side to side, and you'll find that we do pulses like this a little bit throughout the practice, just tipping your hips to the right an inch and to the left an inch, just to see what happens around the low back when you move off center. Sense your breath going down into the lower lungs. Take sweeping breaths all around the right hip as you tip side to side. If you ever need to take cleansing breaths out your mouth, give that to yourself. Do whatever helps you to remember that you're in the right place. You're right where you need to be. That's it. No hurry to switch sides, starting with your left ankle over your right thigh. And perhaps interlace your hands behind your right hamstrings to take it a little bit further. Broaden your chest with your shoulder blades grounded down. An option to find that sweet little sway on the low back, left to right. Can you keep your breathing really deep as you go side to side? Can you keep pressing your left knee away from your left shoulder? This is right where you need to be, just here with your hips and here with your breath. That's it. Another full breath. Release both feet down onto the floor with hands on low belly. Check in for a moment. Give yourself an audible release out the mouth. And take both knees in and wrap your forearms behind your knees, interlacing your fingers. So the knees can be a bit wider with your elbow pits kind of behind the knee pits. You take the knees even wider if possible. So thighs are compressed into the front ribs. as best you can, and little rock left to right on your lower back, like you're massaging from glute to glute. Make it feel as easeful as you can. Make the breath feel as clarifying as possible. There is no rush at all to release and roll onto one side. Make your way up onto your hands and your knees. Immediately lowering your forearms down. Take your forearms over to the left several inches, still keeping elbow shoulder width apart. Walk your right elbow a little further off to the left with your head hanging. Let your hips pull back and little sway of your hips left to right. Observe the stretch in the right side body and space around the right side, and observe what kind of breath is helpful. And then easing your forearms through center and over towards the right. Try your left forearm, your left elbow a bit further away on that diagonal. Relax your neck muscles with pelvis stacked over top of knees. You can remain as you are, or a little sway of your hips left to right. Be conscious of every inhale and every exhale. This is right where you need to be in this breath and in this moment. Come back through center and onto all fours, hands and knees. Inhale to arc your spine. Exhale to round and tuck your tailbone under you, chin into chest. Inhale to arc, broaden the chest as you look forward. And start to round as your low belly lifts up. And rock your hips back towards the heels just a couple times. Next time you inhale, arc your spine. And in the arched position, sway your pelvis side to side. So again, little mindful off-center movements as you exhale, round. And just pulse the hips back and forward a few times. Continue like that. As you arc, spine sways side to side. Add extra breaths if that's helpful anywhere along the way. Take it slower if you wish. And in the rounded position, just rock back and forward a few times. Let yourself feel free to move in a more organic way, in a more circular way. From all fours, eventually step your right foot between your hands. Slide your back knee back another inch or two. Wiggle your front foot forward even more and come onto the heel of your foot with your front leg fairly straight. You may have blocks at home. You could put blocks under your hands too. And with your front toes pointed up to the sky, really driving your heel down. And stick your sit bones up and back behind you. And find a little fold over and down your front leg. Keeping your chest open in this fold. Option to lay the sole of your front foot down, but still keeping front leg straight in the hamstring stretch. Lift the sole of your foot, just digging your heel down. Remember that deep breath really helps. Always. Perhaps lay the sole of your foot down. Keep your foot broadening down into the floor. Stretch your shin muscles a bit more. And then rock up onto the heel. And then lay the sole of your foot down again. Can you get your front leg a bit straighter maybe? Without grinding your teeth. Rebend your front leg so your foot is flat. Could you walk your back knee back a little more perhaps? That'll get you deeper into the thigh stretch. And with your fingertips still tented on the floor, gaze forward and rock your hips side to side. Your hips will let you know, your low back will let you know how far to each side is appropriate. Your breath will let you know. You can spend a little more time with your hips to the left, pulling your outer left hip forward. Walk your front foot all the way over to the left until your front shin comes down for pigeon, until your right shin comes down. Option for a block under your right hip. And your back leg a little more to the center. It's more spacious for your lower back, actually. Bow the length of your spine over your front shin. Let your pelvis just feel weighted down. Allow yourself to sway your pelvis gently to the left an inch and gently to the right an inch. And find a spot with the most sensation to stay at. Usually it's with the outer left hip carved forward and down more. And some more fun and interesting off-center action for you is that you can walk your forearms to the left like you're bowing your abdomen over your front foot. Deep breaths, those healing deep breaths to keep you here, remembering you're in the right place. And forearms return to center for the last few breaths. Is there anything you could release in your jaw? Gently come up onto hands and knees. However you get there is great. Onto all fours for our cat-cows again. Inhale to arc. Exhale to round. Puff your mid back up to the ceiling as you round. Inhale, lift the chest. Stick your sit bones up behind you. Exhale to round like an angry cat. A couple more. Make them feel good. Make them different if it's better for you, different than I'm guiding you. Welcome to add in those little sways and pulses like we did the first round. Gently place your left foot between your hands. Slide your back knee back an inch or two. Wiggle your front foot further forward. Hands under your shoulders on the ground or hands on blocks under your shoulders. Lift the sole of your front foot. Dig your heel into the floor. Even though you're folding, can you keep your chest open like there's almost a little back bend? And with your sit bones tilting up behind you, try to lay the sole of your left foot down on the ground. Left leg stays fairly straight. Full breath. I'm going to need that breath for this. And then dig onto the heel. Lift your foot. Breathing as you lay your foot down flat, if possible. You just do what's possible for you in this moment. You're in the right place. Breath is most important. Couple more times, if you can, lifting and lowering the sole of your foot. Your low back is absolutely benefiting from these hamstring stretches. Stretching the whole back line of your body, all the back lines of the body. As you lift up, rebend your front leg, plant your front foot flat. Perhaps you can walk your back knee back another inch or so. With your chest open, sway your pelvis side to side. Your breath will let you know when you've gone a bit too far to the side. Let this be an investigation of what's held in the hips right now. And going further into the hips, walk your front foot all the way to the right, to the other up edge of your mat, so left shin can come down into pigeon pose. Scoot your back leg a little more to the midline, to the center. Breathing deeply as you bow over your front shin. Little sway of hips side to side. Pause in the spot that needs breath and care, and offer to every cell in your body the reminder that you're in the right place. You're right on track. Giving your breath to your body and to the stress in the body, releasing the stress through breath is right where you need to be. Perhaps go off center with your torso to the right, forearms to the right, folding a little more over your front foot as your pelvis pulls back towards the left side of the mat. And slowly come up into the center, folding more in the middle over your front shin for our last few breaths. And meet me on hands and knees. And come into a version of child's pose that my teacher Anna Forrest calls embryo, where your forearms are on the ground by your outer shins. Have a couple inches between your knees. And have your forearms wide enough so your elbows can be down. Forehead and nose tip down. This rounded quality in the low back that you'll find in embryo is so restorative for your lower back and for any sensitivities in the spine. Breathe in. Let it go out your mouth. Feel yourself getting heavier. One more like that. Big inhale into your mid-back. And a tangible release as you exhale. You're welcome to finish class in this version of child's pose, feeling yourself grow heavier, inviting in a total sense of surrender in that child's pose. You might want to stay there, or slowly come into a seated position for some neck releases. Sitting tall, inhale, shoulders squeeze up. Exhale, shoulders down. Again, inhale, squeeze up. Shoulders down. Couple more. Inhale, squeeze up. Exhale, shoulders down. The tall spine. Couple more. Softening what gets hardened around the neck. Keep your eyes soft. Slowly releasing. Option for palms on low belly as we finish this brief and sweet practice for your lovely low back. Option to bow your head, bow your chin to your chest. Thank yourself. Thank this wisdom within. You're in the right place. Your deep breath is always here to support you in this remembrance. Thank you for being here. Hope to see you again soon.